Hello and welcome to Here's to Your Health. I'm your host, Veggie Patty, and it is my pleasure to bring you the latest information on healthy living. We are currently on location in Novi, Michigan at VegFest, one of the largest vegetarian festivals in North America. Today we are going to check out some healthy products, introduce you to some restaurants that serve vegetarian and vegan cuisine, as well as meet some of the festival attendees and expo organizers. So what's a vegan and what's a vegetarian? A vegetarian is someone who chooses not to eat meat. A vegan is somebody who chooses not to eat meat as well as any other animal products. So they don't eat any eggs, dairy, or honey. So we're going to talk to some people today and find out why they think that being a vegetarian or vegan can help you lead a healthier lifestyle. Let's go check it out. We are here right now with Earthbound Jar, a vegetarian restaurant in Ann Arbor. And this is Sim, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the food that he has today. So can you tell us what you have for the festival goers today?
Yeah, we have spicy chana masala or garbanzo beans. We have eggplant patata. It comes with eggplants, potatoes, and dill rice. A fresh salad plus a sweet chutney sauce, and a piece of naan for $6. We also have gluten-free, vegan, and just regular desserts on the table, as well as water.
Okay, great.
And everything is big with canola oil. No animal products, nothing that's harmful. Everything is earth ground. So
great.
It's very healthy for you.
So tell us a little bit about your restaurant and how you try to help provide healthy food for people.
We try to give you the lowest amount of oils and salts so your body can truly digest the food, so you're eating healthier and feeling better after each meal.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much, Sim.
Thank you.
And that's Earthbound Jar, and they are in Ann Arbor, and you can go check them out if you're craving some Indian food or some vegetarian or vegan cuisine. We are here with Hampshire Farms. They are a certified organic farm right here in Michigan. And we're here with Randy, and he's going to tell us a little bit about their products. So Randy, why don't you tell us a little bit about Hampshire Farms and what products that do you grow at your farm?
Well, we're Hampshire Farms from Kingston, Michigan. We're up in the Thumb area. We have 2 centennial farms, so we've been in Michigan for over 100 years as family-owned farms. Both my daughter and son work with us. We're selling at the Royal Oak and Eastern Farmers Markets every Saturday, year-round. We've been certified organic since 1988. Organic is probably a better way to go because it is so pure and simple. When you have healthy soil, you're going to have healthy people, and that makes for healthier food.
Great. All right, so what are the types of products that you grow? What type of food do you grow?
Well, we do grains, beans, and flour.
Okay.
And people have been really, picking up on that in the last few years. People wanting to cook at home. They need to be cooking from scratch. This is what we have. I mean, I've been growing a hard red winter wheat for 20 years. Our bread is very simple. It has wheat, water, and salt, or spelt water and salt. And then we grow edible beans, navy beans, black beans. Just
great.
Very good, healthy foods.
Great, and all of your products are organic, so that means that they're free of pesticides.
Absolutely.
And so they're healthier for you, and you don't have to worry about ingesting those chemicals into your system. So thank you very much, Randy, for your time.
Thank you.
This is Hampshire Farms. All right, we are here with a vegan family, and we're going to talk to them a little bit about how veganism has helped to improve their health. So this is Yina, and Sally Joe, and Samuel. So Yina, how long have you been a vegan?
We've been vegan for 8 years, just over 8 years now.
Okay, and tell us, you became vegan to improve your health, so how has veganism impacted your health?
I've definitely slimmed down and helped improve my just overall skin tone, health. My children have been able to remain free of infections and things like that. They've never been sick because they've been on a vegan diet their whole life. They've never had to use antibiotics. They've never gotten bronchitis or ear infections like a lot of children get after consuming dairy products.
Okay, great. So Sally Joe, can you tell us, what do you like about being vegan?
What do you like to eat?
Tell us what your favorite meal is.
Well, my favorite breakfast is, my favorite food is blueberries.
Blueberries, all right. And Samuel, what's your favorite food?
it tofu? Tell her.
Tofu?
Salmon
All right.
tofu.
Well, thank you very much, guys. Enjoy your day here at VegFest.
All right. Bye, Veggie Patty.
Hello, we are here with Scott Jurek, ultramarathon champion and author of Eat and Run. Thank you for talking to us today, Scott.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be in Michigan.
So can you tell us, first of all, for the viewers, what is an ultramarathon?
Well, an ultramarathon is basically anything over the marathon distance. They're typically 50 kilometers, which is 5 more miles than the marathon distance, on up to 100 miles over rocky, mountainous terrain. Some are run on roads, some are run on the mountains. It just depends. And then they can go up to things like 24-hour races, which I've done, which was 165 miles in 24 hours. So it's like running 6.5 marathons in 24 hours.
So how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing it for almost 20 years now.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about your diet, and have you always eaten this way, or did you change diet somewhere through your career?
Well, I was a hunting and fishing boy from northern Minnesota, so definitely did not start out as a vegan, but it was one of those things that it started hitting me when I was eating all this fast food and junk during my college years, that having a mother who had multiple sclerosis, working with patients in hospitals as a physical therapy student, and seeing all the disease out there, and I thought, okay, here I am as an athlete, fueling my body with all this junk food. What are things going to be like in 10, 20 years? And I decided right then and there to start making a transition to incorporating more plants and eating better quality food. And it's paid off not just in my performances, but also my health and longevity and how I feel. So hopefully I'll live a long, a lot of runners run, but they don't think about what they fuel their body with, and I think that's really key.
Right. So if you could give one piece of advice to athletes, what would you give a piece of advice to them about diet and how that impacts their abilities?
I would say the number one thing is start paying attention to what you eat. Don't be too worried about all the fads out there, and just start eating real whole food. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just starting to eat like our great-grandparents used to eat, fresh food, food that's more local, food that's more organic, and eventually you'll kind of find your way. And I think the biggest thing too, you have to be involved. As an athlete, I spend time in the kitchen and look at that as like training. I'm fueling my body properly. So get in the kitchen, start cooking your own meals, start paying attention to what you're putting in your body is number one.
Great, well thank you very much. And if you would like to know more about Scott, you can pick up his book, Eat and Run, and you can learn more about his story and his diet and how that has impacted his athletic abilities and running the ultramarathon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We are here in the kids room at VegFest, and we have one of the volunteers, Taylor, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the kids room and what it is that they would like for the kids to learn here. So tell us, what was the idea behind the kids room?
The idea behind the kids room is just to get a little more awareness and make a whole foods plant-based diet, whole foods plant-based diet a little bit more fun for the kids. Like the area out there is, I feel like veganism is it's kind of a fad for adults. Like they're trying to get as much information as they can, but if the kids get it and love it and it's fun and healthy for them, then our job is done here. So.
Great. So can you tell us a little bit about some of the activities that you have going on in the kids room?
Yep. Right here we have Eat the Rainbow. For each color of a fruit and vegetable that the kids try, they get a bead and then they make a bracelet. So reward at the end of eating healthy. We've got coloring. We've got a lot of different composting. That's something that's good to learn because for a sustainable lifestyle. And everything's just fun and healthy.
Great. Well, thank you very much. All right, we are here with Dr. Toko. He is a chiropractor, and this is his son, Gabriel. And you are mostly a raw food vegan, correct?
Yes, as much as I can be, mostly raw food.
And how long have you been eating this way?
Probably exclusively mostly raw, probably several years.
Okay.
But vegan for several years prior to that as well.
And what do you see as the health benefits of that type of a diet?
Personally, I think that most of the health challenges that we have, much of it can be drawn to eating dead food and dead meat.
Mm-hmm.
Meat is the worst thing you can eat. It just gives you opportunities to have almost any health challenge you could possibly have. And if we wanted to be closer to the Maker's diet, then we need to understand that we have to eat from the earth. Everything we need is in the earth, just like for all the other creatures on the planet. And the truth of the matter is eating dead animal carcass is the worst thing you can do to yourself. Mm-hmm. And that movie called Forks Over Knives, have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
That proves it out very, very clearly, and we have some of the sickest people on the planet on this earth, in this country, and there's no doubt in my mind that the horrible stuff that we eat that we call food is a big problem, along with some other problems.
Right.
That's the one that we're talking about here right now.
All right, well, thank you very much.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate your insights, and this is Dr. Toko.
Thank you.
Hello, we are here right now with Jim Corcoran, the founder of Veg Michigan, and Paul Kraus, the current president of Veg Michigan. So thank you guys for talking to us today. So tell us a little bit about what impacted you or what influenced you to come up with Veg Michigan in the first place.
Wow, you want me to take this one? It all began for me when I started studying about the health issues, and I decided that I was going to switch to a very nutritious, healthy diet. And as a result of that, I lost about 20 pounds. And this was about 25 years ago now. And I had a knee injury afterwards, and I thought I was going to put the weight back on, but it never came back on. And so I was totally sold on a plant-based diet and nutrition. It changed my life in many different ways, and I'm very pleased to have found it. And so as a result of my understandings and learnings as I went through about the compassion issues, the health issues, as well as the environmental issues, I said, we've got to start a group here in Michigan. And so we started a group 14 years ago, very small, and we have progressively grown it. And the previous president before Paul, Harry Pianco, he grew the organization along with Paul, and then Paul took over and has grown it even more so. So we're helping to change the diet of Michiganders all over.
Great, thank you. So Paul, why don't you tell us a little bit about direction that you see Veg Michigan going? And Veg Michigan is the organization that puts on VegFest. So what are you hoping to accomplish today with VegFest?
Well, first of all, VegFest is a festival, so we want it to be a festive arena, but yet we want to educate people about all the advantages of going vegetarian and vegan. So from a health aspect particularly, I happen to be a pharmacist. All day long I have people coming in with cardiovascular disease, diabetes, cancerous forms, and most of these can be eliminated. So the normal procedure of Americans is go on the SAD, what we call the SAD diet, the standard American diet, and then that when they become 40 or 50, they get into all these different medications, and that's not what has to be. 95% of type 2 diabetes can be eliminated. 80% of cancers could probably be eliminated if you changed your diet, changed your food choices, and you exercise. So we're at a time now that we need to let people know that you have to change your lifestyle and become healthier. And it's a good time for Veg Michigan to get involved with this because more and more people are finally realizing that. Maybe people all day taking these medications and say, what can I do? And I say, go vegetarian, exercise. And they say, oh no, just give me my Lipitor. That's all and I don't want to do any of that. We can't continue to do that anymore. So Veg Michigan is probably by far the biggest influence in the Michigan area that's letting people know that if you're continuing on the standard American diet, you're begging, you're saying, please, can I be unhealthy? And we want to educate people to let them know. And like Jim said, it's amazing that we can not only tell people about their health, but we can tell about all the environmental destruction involved with factory farming. And finally, these animals and factory farms are manipulated and tortured their whole miserable life. So I tell people this is a very comprehensive issue. It's just a matter of educating yourself, and we're hoping people can be educated in a festive arena. We have a comedian here, we have a world-renowned marathon runner, and we have a children's author, renowned. So a wide variety of educational people to help to influence people. And we're all nonprofit, we're all volunteer. We have no payroll. So we're motivated to do this. It's self-motivation. And that's the only thing there is for us. And I always tell people, when you take advice from health professionals or whoever, try to find a nonprofit organization, because in this day and age, nobody has to stand up for what they say. So a lot of these organizations for profit are telling people the wrong things. And we're an entirely nonprofit organization. We have no incentive to tell you anything different.
Great. Well, thank you very much. Thanks, Paul, and thanks, Jim. And if you want more information about Veg Michigan, or you want just more information about a vegetarian or a vegan diet, you can go to their website at www.vegmichigan.org. We are here with Cousin Mary Jane. This is Laura, the owner, and they sell products made from hemp. So thank you for talking to us, Laura.
Thanks for coming over. VegFest is a very cool thing here for all the people. And hemp is a wonderful thing, and they all love it because it's so high in protein. It's also great with your omega profile, a wonderful, if you're eating the whole hemp seed, it's a great source of your fiber. It's also wonderful for your iron. So as a food, it is just one of the most outstanding foods that we can consume. And most of us here in the U.S. have a bit of a misconception about what hemp is all about. It's very tasty. It's delicious. Whether we do toasted hemp seeds, we also do hemp hearts, which is the hemp seed that has been hulled. We have a brand new gluten-free pancake mix. This is awesome. A serving size, 10 grams of protein, as well as 25% of your iron. So this right here, and there's no soy in this, and being gluten-free, and the texture is wonderful. So we're very proud of this little baby too. So we look forward to it. Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. And if you are in Wyandotte, you can pick up some of her products at Total Health Foods. So again, this is Cousin Mary Jane and Laura. All right, we are here with Amber. She is the owner of Cacao Tree Cafe. It is an all raw food restaurant in Royal Oak. So thank you for talking to us, Amber.
Thank you for joining us.
So tell us a little bit about your influence on why you wanted to have a raw food restaurant and what raw food does for the body.
Well, my journey, simply put, began that I had been working for the well-known In Season for over a decade. My juice bar, the Cacao Tree, is located about 4 blocks from In Season. And my passion has always been really driven by living foods, a lot of wheatgrass, green foods, salads. Given the proximity to In Season, when I bought the juice bar, we figured the best thing was to create a menu that really complemented both businesses. We designed our menu to be focused on gourmet raw foods, also with the focus of gluten-free, soy-free, and vegan. We've seen the business grow unbelievably because of the desire for the gluten-free primarily, more so than even raw. The amazing part about raw food is that one, the nutrients are immediately available. They're absorbed immediately through the body. We soak and sprout most of all of the nuts and seeds that we use. Like today we're serving a raw granola. Everything is soaked for 24 hours, then dehydrated for 3 days. That really ensures that the quality of all the nutrients are still intact and absorbable. When you start getting into processed foods, your body's really not benefiting from any of the food that we start with. What we know is food really isn't food, and so at the Cacao Tree, our mission has been to actually serve real, whole, true foods, and it's been amazing. Our line of chocolate, our line of cheesecakes, you know, you usually run into about 6 components, 6 ingredients, as opposed to a list of about 20. So right there, you're starting to see that, okay, you know, if I'm consuming a raw item, I'm actually getting real food. Well, we know the benefits of food, and once we start actually consuming whole, fresh, organic foods, you start to feel that difference. Your body thrives, you have more energy, it's less energy required to actually digest and break down the food. So mostly our customers realize, like, wow, I have a lot more energy when I eat this. Yeah, I drink this smoothie and I feel so much better. So we're starting to really see that more regularly.
Great. So now a lot of people think that raw food is really just carrots and celery sticks and salads, and Amber had mentioned chocolate. So tell us one of the more decadent raw food meals that people would never think you could get as raw.
Honestly, all of our desserts are so decadent. I mean, people have really just become pretty blown away and pretty addicted to our whole dessert line. On the savory end, our Mexican fare is definitely the most recognizable flavor. It's full of body, it's very satisfying. Most people that are being introduced to raw food absolutely love our Mexican food. And I know decadent usually refers to desserts generally, but most people feel our burrito is pretty decadent, even though it's savory. There's just so much body, so much flavor. Our cacao is amazing. It's imported from Peru and from Bali. We melt it in our dehydrator. We cut it with our sweeteners in-house. We don't use any cane sugar. We use primarily coconut nectar or birch source xylitol. And honestly, I would have to say all of our desserts fall into that decadent category. I mean, we're using whole organic raw fruits, and like I said, the sweeteners are low glycemic. There's a lot of flavor. So really, I mean, anything in our cooler of desserts, I'd have to say fall under that decadent category.
Great. And they have raw burgers, they have raw pizza. She mentioned the Mexican, you can get raw tacos, raw burritos. So there's a lot of different foods that you can get that you wouldn't think you could get as vegan and raw food on top of that. So thank you, Amber, for talking to us today.
Thank you, Patty.
Check out her restaurant. It is, again, Cacao Tree Cafe in Royal Oak. Hello, we are here with Jerry. She is a volunteer for Veg Michigan, and she's volunteering today at VegFest. So, Jerry, I see that you are a vegan by your shirt.
Yes, I am.
So, why don't you tell us, how long have you been a vegan?
About 15 years.
And what inspired you to become a vegan?
Well, I originally became vegan for health reasons. I had heard and read that it was more nutritious and leads to longer life and healthier life. And then the more reading I did, I learned about some of the environmental impacts of animal agriculture as well as the suffering of animals. And I just decided I didn't want to be any part of that.
Okay, and it looks like you look pretty healthy. So are you doing good with the vegan diet and everything, and has worked well for your health?
Absolutely. I've never felt better.
Great. So now you are here volunteering today at VegFest, and this is a long day for you and for the volunteers. So tell us, why did you decide to volunteer? What are you hoping to accomplish at VegFest today?
Okay, first of all, it does not feel like a long day. Everything just goes by so fast. It's so busy, and there's so much excitement here that I wish it would go on longer than the day. What did I want to do? I guess I'm just really excited about plant-based diets and vegan lifestyle, and I just feel like the more information we can get out there to people, that more people will be interested in it and start learning and start reading about it and exploring all the different options. There's so much delicious vegan food out there that there's absolutely no reason to eat animal products.
Great.
So I'd like to help people understand that.
All right, so if you could give one tip to our viewers, if somebody was interested in becoming a vegan, what would you tell them would be their first step?
You can give up dairy. You can give up cheese. I once said to my brother, I want to be vegan, but I cannot give up cheese. And let me tell you, you can give up cheese. Just learn about where it comes from, how it's made, and if that's not motivation enough, just try some of the vegan options out there. When I first became vegan, there was like maybe one kind of vegan cheese, and it was horrible. And now there are tons of them. They're not necessarily the healthiest things to eat, but if that's your main reason for not going vegan, don't let that stop you. The other thing too is that you could be vegan except for cheese. You know, Colleen Patrick Goudreau, who's one of the gurus in the vegan movement, she has said, don't do nothing because you can't do everything. Do something. And so I guess that would be something else I'd want people to think about. Maybe you can't go vegan, maybe you can't even go vegetarian, but just do it in small steps. You know, try substituting something else for the meat on your plate once a week, and then maybe you can try it twice a week, and just keep going from there as you learn about some of the alternatives.
Great. Well, thank you very much for your time, and thanks for volunteering here. And this again was Jerry, one of Veg Michigan's volunteers. Well, we are here at VegFest in Novi, and we happen to run into some fellow people from downriver. So we have Kim from Wyandotte and Lindsay from Allen Park. So thanks for talking to us today. So you guys are both vegan, correct?
Yes. That's correct.
All right. So why don't you tell us, why did you decide to come out to VegFest today?
I've been actually coming to VegFest since it first started. I was one of the early volunteers when we were in the cafeteria of Ferndale High School. Years and years ago, it was a little tiny event, and now it's this fantastic, huge, wonderful, that's okay, 4,000 people last year, and it's just phenomenal. The speakers, the food, lots of political activism here, just everything you could, as a vegan, be interested in.
Great. And now tell us, you became vegan for your health?
No, I actually became a vegetarian first when I was about 18, and I looked down one day and decided, why do I love the family dog so much and yet I eat other animals? It just didn't make sense to me. So I was a vegetarian for a number of years and then eventually a vegan.
Okay, great. So now, Lindsay, how long have you been a vegan?
I have been a vegan for about a year now, but I've been a vegetarian since 16, and
Actually, I was vegan in college for a little bit.
Okay.
I had to kind of go backwards a little bit just because I had to figure out how to cook a vegan. And so now I feel like I am the cookbook queen, and I have gained a huge cookbook collection, and I cook all the time for my family, always vegan, and I just love experimenting.
I heard that you are a fabulous vegan cook.
Yes.
So tell us some of your favorite dishes that you make that people wouldn't think could be vegan.
Well, let's hear. I recently just made a vegan Alfredo sauce using parsnips, so that was interesting. We just made a macaroni and cheese with, I had a sweet potato for the cheese and a can of navy beans. So just interesting things that are really easy to make, lots of vegetables. Love my blender.
Okay. And how does your family feel about you cooking vegan all the time for them? Any complaints?
Never. My children are young, they don't know any better, and my husband grew up vegan, vegetarian, so he's really on board.
Great. Well, thank you ladies very much for talking to us today.
Go veg.
All right, we are here with Monkey Bar Gym. This is a different type of vendor that is at VegFest, non-food related, and this is all about fitness. So, if you ladies can introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Amy.
Amy.
I'm Lisa.
Lisa, and they're both, I said, with Monkey Bar Gym. So their gym, it has a little bit of a different concept. So can you tell us a little bit about the concept of the gym? Because you don't have equipment and you don't have mirrors, correct?
Correct. Basically, we want to get you back to the motions that you did as a child, running, jumping, crawling, and climbing. So we teach you movements basically to mimic those things that you did as a child and bring you back to being able to do those movements that you may have lost along the way.
Great. So what are the benefits that you see for somebody working out in this manner instead of doing the equipment? Is there less injury involved, and what other benefits?
With this type of training, it's whole body training, so you're not just focusing on one aspect of the body. So essentially what you're doing is you are working on total body fitness, which is going to allow somebody to not only be able to be more mobile, but if they do have previous injuries or are suffering from bad knees, bad hips, or just not feeling right, this type of training restores the whole body. So we don't just focus on one thing, we focus on everything when our training. Ice and yoga is the foundation of it, and ice and yoga is a restorative type of yoga. So when anybody comes and trains with us, they're learning how to do things properly and things that are going to benefit them and what their goals are in the training. So that sets us aside from the gym world where people just kind of wander around and get on machines and don't necessarily know what they're doing. They're just kind of try. So we're there to guide them and coach them and make sure that they're getting the best benefits that they can.
Great. Well, thank you very much. And if you would like to check them out, again, it's Monkey Bar Gym, and they're located in Troy. And you can go and talk to them or go to their website and find out more information about the type of fitness that they offer. All right, we are here with John Salley, NBA champion. So thank you for joining us today. Now, a lot of people may not know about your diet. So can you talk just a little bit about your diet?
Yes, I eat a plant-based diet. When I say that, that means vegetables, fruits, legumes, beans. I stay away from animal products or things from animals. And I eat a lot. I eat as much purified water as possible, meaning high-octane water, coconut water. And I pay attention to everything I put on my skin. So my whole diet, it's not just a diet, it's my way of life.
Great. So can you tell us how that type of a diet has impacted your athletic abilities?
Oh, well, you know, I was already good, you know, no. What it did is I was able to last longer playing. I got rid of a chronic back problem, which I thought was a muscle deal, but it wasn't a muscle problem. It was a compacted colon. So once I learned that, and I got into yoga, I learned how to elongate and stretch my muscles. I then brought it to the Lakers, and we wound up having a great team in 2000, limited amount of injuries. So as an athlete, I just did the things that athletes do, take care of their body, smart ones.
Great. And what advice can you just give for vegan athletes?
Oh, advice, once you know better, do better.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We are here with Dr. Neal Barnard, the founder of the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine and author of Power Foods for the Brain. So thank you for talking to us today.
Well, it's my pleasure.
So can you tell us a little bit about the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine? Like, what is the purpose behind that?
We got started in 1985, and the idea was that doctors, instead of just treating one patient at a time, would actually be getting involved in preventive medicine and encouraging people to eat in a better way, and that especially means plant-based diets. And that also we would look at how research was being done and make it more effective and make it more ethical. And that's a tall order, but we've been successful as time has gone on, luckily.
Great. So how important is it to educate other physicians about nutrition and the role of nutrition in health?
Each physician sees thousands and thousands of people over a year or over their career, and if they can start spreading the message in a good way, that's really important, particularly since often people really take to heart what their doctor has said to them.
Great. And what do you recommend to people? Like, what do you think would be the ideal diet for the general public?
The research now has reached a point where I think we can be quite clear that the body doesn't need animal products at all, and you're better off without them. And so the healthiest diet is vegetables and fruits and whole grains and beans. That's a vegan diet. Also, it's important to have a source of vitamin B12, which you need for healthy nerves, healthy blood. But that's easy because it's in supplements, it's in many fortified foods. It's a no-brainer.
And so do you recommend the plant-based diet then for pregnant women and for children as well?
I think a plant-based diet is important at all stages of life, especially when a woman is pregnant, when a child is developing. That's when the nutrients that they have available are especially critical. What does it mean if a child is exposed to dairy proteins that can cause all kinds of adverse reactions? What does it mean if a growing child has cholesterol and animal fat that can harm their arteries? That's when you want the cleanest possible diet.
Great. And so if you could give one piece of advice to the viewers, let's say somebody who's just starting out and trying out the plant-based diet, what would be the easiest step for them to do or the most beneficial step that they would see?
First of all, you want to learn about the diet to see why it might help you, that it'll help you lose weight, improve your energy, get your cholesterol down, these kinds of things. Then I encourage people to explore vegan foods. And they pretty soon discover that it's not unusual. They might come into it thinking, uh-oh, do I have to become a philosopher to eat this way? And then they discover, no, you just have to like spaghetti or blueberry pancakes, whatever. So you're trying the different foods. And then when the person is ready, I encourage them at some point to do it all vegan all the time for about 3 weeks. And it's sort of like a person standing at the edge of a swimming pool, sticking their toe in. At some point you got to jump in and see what the water's like. And after about 3 weeks, you discover that it's good, that you really like it, that you feel better, you're losing weight, if you've got diabetes, your blood sugar is getting better, your energy is better, and then your tastes start to really grab a hold of these foods, and you're like a person who quit smoking. You just think, I don't want to go back to what I was doing before. But if I tell that to the person in advance, they're not going to believe it. They have to really drive it around the block a couple times to see how they like it.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate your time today. Again, this is Dr. Neal Barnard, and if you wanted to find out more information about him or his organization, you can go to their website, Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, and again, one of his books is Power Foods for the Brain. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Well, it's been a long day here at VegFest, and we made sure that we stayed hydrated. I had my trusty water bottle with me all day. So I want to thank you for joining us on this episode. I hope that you've learned a couple of tips and tricks from the vendors and the restaurants and the people that we've spoken to today. For more additional tips and tricks on healthy living, please visit my website at www.veggiepatty.com. No matter what cards you were dealt or your current state of health, you have the power to take charge of your health. So never give up and never stop learning. The solution you seek may be just around the corner. I wish you a wonderful today and an even better tomorrow. Here's to your health.